runner button. Okay, that's an issue. Yeah, I don't. I'm watching Twitch at the same time. I don't think they can hear me. Oh, okay. I think. A little quiet. Wait, no, that's not music. Okay, we're good.
Yay.
Emmoji, can you please stream to Discord? I can actually see the. I can't see the stream anymore because we got moved. Oh. The heck? Please actually see it? Okay, well, I can go off of the Twitch stream for now. I don't know why it's not letting me really see the stream going. It's being... But anyways, this is N++. You might have played N back in, like, middle school or something. Or probably much earlier than that. And this is the successor of its successor. It's huge. As someone who's actually beat the entire game, I can say for sure that it's absolutely huge. But very minimal, so you sort of pick up the tricks of the game over time, and it kind of makes this insurmountable task into a more manageable one, even if it does take 2,000 hours. Emmoji will be running a section of it. The bottom will test visible row from starting the game of the main tab, which is basically the larger sections of how things are organized around in the game. So solo and ++ 0, and you can start.
Start?
So don't mind what I'm saying.
Am I ready?
I tried to rejoin. Join the stream. Where's the stream? I'm on mobile, and I see live, but I can't actually join any stream. I don't get. Okay, that's it. I'm moving on to my desktop. This is taking too long. Okay, that appeared to work. It's not as good, but it's gonna work for now. So yeah, you can begin the run now.
Alright.
That appeared to work. It's not as good, but
Begin? Alright.
yeah, we're good. Yeah, I can actually see the stream now. Okay, we're starting. So the first level is... Yeah, the first levels will be pretty easy. That's how this game works generally. But as we move down the row, which consists of 100 levels, you saw for a good while there were squares across the menu. Each of those squares represents 5 levels. Those are called an episode, and basically the E row is that entire horizontal section starting from where Emmoji just played. So it's 100 levels, and as you can see, we're already past the first 2. Some of these are short and some of these are longer. And most of the time, the last level of an episode is the hardest, which is the 04, because the level counting system starts with 0 because haha, funny programmer joke. So you'll notice that Emmoji basically starts from a defined position, runs until she hits the door switch, which is that really funny looking horizontally stretched switch. You can see here it's on the left side. And once she does that, she can get to the door, and the door is basically the end of the level. That's it. There's a lot of little features which are pretty intuitive to pick up on, namely the golds. The golds gives you 2 seconds of extra time every time you hit it. You rarely die from time in this game, though, because every time you die, your timer resets to the time that you entered the level from. Each episode or each level when you're playing level view, but we're not. We're going to be playing an episode view here. Starts with 90 seconds, and I think that's a pretty good amount of time. There's separate tracking in the game for getting all the gold in the level. However, this is not an all gold run. This is just a regular run. So for the most part, she'll just get whatever in the way. I don't think there's any point in the run where you intentionally have to pick up gold to get extra time. This game's pretty lenient on time, especially when you're going fast. I guess I should describe more of the features. As you've noticed, Emmoji is deliberately avoiding the red circles. Those are mines. Those also kill you instantly, yes. And the penalty for death is just starting from the beginning of the level again, at the same time as you entered, as I said. What she just did there was a backwards corner jump. So originating from the oldest version of the game, if I can say that, was a glitch that involved slightly clipping into the tiles by entering a corner. And because of this, the game would push you out further if you jumped on the same frame, and this would make you gain more speed. In N++, they decided to implement this as an actual feature by internally making corners as slopes. And basically, if you bump out a corner at the right speed and angle, then you just end up getting a lot of lots of speed upwards, more than you can normally jump. And this is used for very many speedrun tricks and techniques. Just lots of high scores. It's a very common trick now that they've made it more accessible instead of like a frame perfect trick. It's generally very lenient. Also, another thing, this game initially released on PS4, and when they did this, they had controllers in mind, so they added an input buffer of 4 frames to the game before you actually land on place, any given slope or tile. And this leniency actually worked in the game's favor when it was ported to PC, because it's the first endgame that actually has any form of input buffer. And this worked massively in its favor. It just makes high scoring more enjoyable in general, and it allows you to pull up a lot more precise tricks. It just gives the game a bit more of a feel-good kind of feeling compared to its the predecessors. That last level was full of drones. A lot of drone levels in this game, when they have a lot of drones like that, it tends to be very cycle-based. And so the more cycle-based levels of the game are the more memorizable ones, but the more rigid ones like this, you tend to just work off of reflexes. One of my favorite feelings when I was playing this game was just going into a level sort of like this blind and just kind of seeing, before even playing, how it felt to move throughout the level. Despite the simplicity of the game, there's just so... the movement is just so... I would say... what's the word? It's deceptively complex. There are just a lot of little nuances that once you start to pick up, you sort of realize, wow, this game's physics is actually extremely complicated. Because besides the very, very fluid sort of momentum-based movement, you have all of the The slope physics in this game are also really weird. Can I finish this sentence? Sorry. I guess I might as well talk about the level she's on now. This is one of my favorites. Are we allowing spoilers in here? Yeah, probably. In the game, there are these alternate challenges that you can take throughout a level that basically say, oh, you must touch none of the gold, or you have to touch all of the toggle lines in the room. And basically, it adds an entirely new level of replayability. And what I really love about the N++ tab is how subtle it is about this. Like, now that I've mentioned it, maybe you'll start to see how these come into play later on. There's just so much to do. Like, you have the solo levels, right? Well, just all those solo levels wasn't all the content. You have to all gold it, and you also have to do all the challenges on it. And you have to do a no-death run of the episode. And then you might as well just do a no-death run of every individual column. And then, you know, why not just play the entire game blindfolded backwards when you're done with that, you know? There's a lot of replayability in the game. For Christ's sake, they even added an invisible mode. You can play the game with the ninja invisible if you really like. That's completely optional, of course, still. Someone did it. And ever since then, we've had this inside joke in the Discord where we had this emoji that was named Invisible Ninja Victory, where anytime something significant in the community happened, we would just rename the emoji because it's actually just a blank PNG. So yeah, there's a lot. Let's see, what else? I like that room in particular. There is no get all the mines challenge on this level. They're just a really big toggle line for no reason. And it's inspired more than a couple things. The game has a level editor, and of course level sharing. It's quite good when it isn't the same person posting 50 levels of absolutely nothing. But yeah, a very talented community, actually. Oh, this is one of my favorites. This level right here. Just figuring out how to get all the goals. Like, you sort of have to actually learn how to use those evil ninjas. So that's what they are. They follow your movements exactly 2 seconds behind yours, and if you grab multiple evil ninjas, each one follows behind 2 seconds from the previous. And so you start on this gigantic stack of evil ninjas, so you end up having to first go back and forth between these tunnels, trying to get the golds, of course, if you're on your first playthrough, or maybe skipping it if you decide so. It's your choice. And then you have to go through it vertically as well. It's very fun. It's one of my first major hurdles, I think, playing the game 4 years ago or so. I kind of remember how much fun I had getting through it. Oh yeah, that's a fun skip. You're just realizing that, hey, you can actually go backwards through that. Floor cards are kind of cute. There's pretty sure it's canon that they only actually want to hug you or something. I'm pretty sure, yeah. Okay, this game has lore, and the lore basically says all of the robots are accidentally homicidal, if that makes any sense. Also, this particular room killed so many of my column runs, it's not even funny. Just the lasers that rotate are generally very unpredictable. It's possible to get an invisible laser snipe, and that's really annoying, especially on a certain couple of levels. I'm not really a fan of that. It's possible to get the gold here without hitting those switches that open the lasers, and it's actually a challenge. It's not particularly fun. I think Emmoji can attest to that. Didn't you do that one?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, I thought.
It's kind of
Took me a
annoying,
little
but
while.
otherwise it's good. Yeah. Oh, this one has a really weird start, in my opinion. It's one of the weirdest starts of these levels. You just have this random seeker drone and these two lasers just sitting there. It's unique. It's very memorable, in my opinion. And then they get reused later for that particular switch. I think I remember being frustrated with that, but I can't remember. Oh, chain gun level. Take a good look at these chain guns because this is one of the few times in the entire game you're ever going to see them. These are criminally underused entities. I'm pretty sure they only imported them from the previous versions of the game because they knew people would be kind of mad if they didn't. Yeah. They are good enemies, though. They think they're overpowered, but they're really not that bad, you know? This level I really like. It just feels like it has some sort of order to it. Also, getting to gold at the end is fun. After all that effort, you kind of want to not screw up. What is a really interesting challenge? Let's see, what else do we have? Oh yeah, I love doing the turnaround here. And that's really fun when you're getting the gold. It's like, I think you come like one tile short of just not being able to escape that little Gauss turret at the end. That's what those things that cause the rectacles are called. And then there's that surprise floor guard there. That's definitely killed people on their first runs many times. Kind of a butt move. Keeping it PG for the stream. And that laser is maybe a little tough to deal with your first time, but it's not that bad afterwards. I hate this level with a burning passion.
I did too until I found a route for it.
Well, yeah, a speedrun route is obviously gonna make it better. But like, God, these mini drones actually, please get out. Okay, the challenges on this level are every single possibility of getting all gold and no gold and all toggles and no toggles combined together, and it's actually super clever. Like, you can see how many paths you can take through this, and it's very fun. Especially this little part right here. I just really like that. Hero's a good row in the game. Oh man, I remember this challenge. Did you know that there's actually you see those 3 spinning lasers on the right? There's actually a hidden little mine inside those lasers. It's kind of neat. It's Schnorgolds! It's Schnorgolds. Everybody knows Schnorgolds. Schnorgold is a weird one. It's kind of difficult to speedrun or high school in general, but it's fun. I think it's where you first really get to understand drone cycles / movement in the game, even though it's like halfway through now. Almost, yeah. What else? Oh yeah, figuring out that you could actually go between the golds here, super fun moment. You can actually do that. That's really amazing. There are a lot of challenges that are really short in the game that just serve to tell you that yes, you can actually move through things like this. And that's really fun. I remember a certain extra level that teaches you how to one-way clip by making you do it accidentally. That when we asked people who played the game about it, they completely forgot that they had ever actually been taught that ability. One-way clipping is a rarely used feature that you might see. I don't know if it's in this run.
It is not.
It is not. Okay, there are no one-way clips in this run. Basically, you see those one-ways on the left? Well, you can't clip through those. But if you have any downward-facing one-ways, if you just get against a wall and press jump on the same frame that you're touching the one-way, then you just clip right through it. It's really neat. But, yeah, that's used for some major skips, but not for this. This one has a particularly stressful all golds. I'm talking about those 3 gold that are at the bottom right. That is quite stressful to get on your first time. Because you're never quite sure when it's actually going to shoot you, so you have to like make some weird movements and hope that just jumping out will save you somehow. Oh, also that's really fun. Just running and activating all of the toggle lines as you go back down. I like that. What other tricks did I mention? Did you do any bounce block doubles there? I missed it.
I will next time you see a bounce block.
Okay, good to know, good to know. This is not a fun level, but I like the mini drone version of this level you can find in the last tab in the game. Because it's like this, but infinitely more entertaining. It's called... Okay, well, I don't need to go that into detail, but yeah. You just kind of have to walk along and not screw up. It's fine though, it's pretty easy. Alright, this one. This one taught me some slope movement. Slope movement in this game is very fun, as I said before. You can do all sorts of weird tricks with it. Emmoji will only be going forward, but basically, yeah, you see that little blast jump she made? Well, if you're not holding forwards, like, upwards, not forwards, but upwards the slope, then you will go backward, you will do a back jump on the slope. But if you're holding forwards, if you're holding, okay, say you have a slope, and it goes from a low incline to a high incline. If you are facing the way that it goes higher, well, not facing, but if you're holding the direction in which the slope is increasing, when you make the jump, then you will make a different type of jump that goes upwards the slope. But if you're not holding a direction, or you're holding a direction that's against the slope instead of going downwards the slope, then you will do a perp jump, which is named because you jump perpendicularly to the slope. Oh, this one's crazy. Just the drones and everything. And I like that little jump you do between the toggle and the mine. It's quite fun. Especially when you gotta do it, wait, actually I don't think they require that for this challenge. I think you only have to avoid the gold. But that's okay. There's a bounce block. There's another bounce block. This is riveting commentary, isn't it?
Oh yeah, not that bounce block. You'll see it in the
not that bounce block. Right, I was trying to remember other tricks to bring up in this game. Oh yeah, that she did a perp jump, then followed that with a wall jump in order to. Then there's doubles, like when you have a flat floor and then a slope, like what she had earlier. It's possible to tap 2 times or even 3 times the jump key at the right time to get a very, very fast climb. Did you get a chimney out of that incorrectly?
Very sloppily. Sorry.
Sorry, it's okay. I'm just wondering. I think you just chimneyed on the same wall. Okay. Really funny story. Okay, I don't want to embarrass you on stream, but like.
It's fine. You can tell it.
Okay, so actually, it's kind of a case of
it's funny.
Is the player supposed to figure this out or not? Because like, when you're in a one wide area in the game, then you can just spam jump rather than alternating left and right jump in order to ascend out of it really quickly. But that kind of evades intuition a little bit, and Emmoji got stuck on a level without figuring this out for like over 1,000 attempts. And the entire community was like, how did you spend 1,000 attempts on this level? And then we realized she didn't actually know that you could chimney just by like spamming the jump key in a one-by-one hull, like the one Emmoji's going down now.
I climbed the mine wall.
I know that you're not supposed to chimney here, because otherwise you just fly into the drone, but like, it's, it was just a little moment of like, how many different ways can you play this game? Because apparently, I can find a level really easy that other people just find extremely difficult, without dropping any names. I think everybody in the CAD community knows what level I'm referring to right now, because I've milked this joke to death. Okay, enough inside jokes. This is a speedrun stream. This is a professional speedrun stream. Alright, so this one has an all mines challenge, and it makes some very weird movement on the left, top left corner for that. But it is very fun. Also very fun. I've never died to the death ball in this level, I think. The death ball is that thing that is slowly following Emmoji on the left side over there. Now on her right side. It's just, I don't feel like that can kill you.
It can. Trust me.
It can. Huh. I feel like everything else in that room is more likely to kill me. Also, this one's super weird, but fast to complete on a normal run. What else we got? Oh, this one has a super interesting look. Oh, wow! So you'll notice that in this particular palette, do you see those 3 floor guards in the bottom right corner?
Come on.
Well, you'll see that 2 of them have this little white line underneath, assuming that the stream quality is good enough. That's actually gold. They hid gold beneath the floor guards, which is definitely going to be missed by a lot of first-time players, unfortunately. Even worse, they hid a useless toggle mine beneath it. Oh, okay. I forgot how this level goes. Alright, that's good. That's
good.
It
was a skip that I did that you missed.
Oh no, right, yeah, you're normally supposed to go around to the top part, but she just went, she back jumps and did a little skip on the right side there. You might, she basically avoided the entire top part of floor guards in that level. Sorry, I should be better at calling these out. Oh, this one's fun. Lots of little switches. Also, this is one of the levels where... Is this one of the levels where you're supposed to deliberately avoid the door?
Yes.
Ah, yes. Okay, so there's something, I think, beneath the door, and you have to avoid that door switch. So sometimes the door can actually function as a hazard that you need to avoid, which is kind of interesting. That was close. Nice job. Oh, yay, laser timing level. This is where a lot of people learn cycles the hard way. Especially that last jump. I really enjoy the trick that you use there. This one's super weird when you're going up. It feels like the rocket's gonna catch you, but if you're wall jumping the best you can, then it really just doesn't. Of course, she's gonna loop this the second time, then what I'm gonna say is gonna make a lot more sense. Sorry about that. Yeah, now it's going to activate the bottom one, and when you're going back up, it's going to feel like it's going to catch you, but it doesn't really. And that's just kind of an inevitability when you're running this particular one. Although she's very fast at wall jumping now. Kind of underestimated that, so... Okay. What else? Oh yeah, sometimes if you go, if you don't take the absolute fastest route on this level and just try to get the gold as you go, then you end up with a laser cycle that just kills you. It's fun. Sometimes, like, it's just moving to the right and lasers can just get on the wall and whoops, the entire room is now laser. That happens a lot sometimes. This one's pretty simple. Alright. This one is super freeform. I love this one. You just kind of have to path it yourself, or of course watch somebody else's replay, because that's what everybody does apparently. Nice. Yep, this is another one where you have to conserve as much toggle mine space as you can, because you're gonna need that later when you're crossing it the third time. Yep, there's enough room. Very interesting intuition here. What else is there? Oh yeah, those launch pads. Those launch pads. If you press jump, I think within 2 frames of hitting it, then you get a slightly higher jump. I'm pretty sure that's also another thing that they implemented intentionally into the game that used to be a bug. A lot of weird, like, I think the best way to describe this game's physics is they took the somewhat janky physics of the original end games and they made them very refined into like what it feels like it should be if it were a real game. Where, you know, all those Kaizo games where you'd have to use these glitches intentionally to progress because people really like it brings more variety to the game if you have these more complex types of movements. Well, that's basically a pretty good summary of this game. But of course, the level design also assists in making the game very interesting over that long of a period of time. I mean, hell, this run is only 45 minutes or so, or less, and still, we're only talking about what, like 1/20th of the solo game? About a little more than that, but still, that's really saying something. This game is long. This game is really long. That little gold section in the bottom right that's covered by the laser, it's actually possible to touch that gold before you close that laser off. And that's because the lasers use your ninja's ragdoll, as in what you can see, instead of a circular hitbox. Oh yeah, I never mentioned that. All of the hitboxes in this game are circular. And I guess this just makes it more precise. When talking about the certain objects that overlap, when referring to the size of their hitboxes, the gold is bigger than the switches. The close and open switches are equal size. The mines are bigger than the toggle mines. And the mines are also just ever so slightly smaller than the switches. There's a certain challenge that takes advantage of the fact that closed doors are actually bigger than regular mines. Unfortunately. I think Emmoji knows that one. Oh yeah, I think that was the most attempts you've ever spent on a single level. Oh yeah, fun fact about this one. It's actually possible to... You see that little mine underhang on the right? With like the 2 toggle mines underneath that, where Emmoji's about to go through. Right there, yeah, you see that? It's actually possible to go underneath there without toggling any mines. That used to be a challenge, but then it was removed when a high-level player actually complained about it. That was a funny story, especially when I actually did it. What else? I've been saying that a lot because there's so much to say that I can't figure out what to say. It's quite unfortunate. Also, I realized that my mic quality significantly lowered when I switched to PC. I'm sorry, I just could not get it to work on mobile anymore. Usually my mobile audio quality is better, so just bear with me. I also apologize for my adolescence. We are already in the last 4 episodes, or actually last 3. I saw last 3 episodes. So, this one, oh, that's a corner jump skip. You see that? Those corner jumps I mentioned at the beginning of the run, that's where it comes in handy. You can skip that entire section, just pop up through the one-ways. There you go. Saves like 10 seconds. Nice job getting done your first try, Emmoji. What else? The gold on that one is quite scary, but it's very thrilling. Cinnabomb. I remember a lot of people complaining about the no gold on this one.
Really?
Yeah. I think a lot of them didn't know that you could actually survive that fall without, if you, I believe that exact shaft on the left and right, if you, maybe, if you hold jump, like for the maximum amount of time, then you gain slightly more speed downward and you might die from fall damage.
Oh, you can die from fall damage on that.
Yeah, there,
level.
if you hold jump and you fall. Interestingly, when you hold jump, even after you hit a ceiling, you'll still float a little bit longer before it no longer matters that you're holding jump. And so this can actually cause you to fall slightly faster downwards even when you don't need to. And so it's possible to fall height that would normally not kill you, that actually kills you instead, because you just decide to hold jump and stick to the ceiling. Also, that last level, laser cycles, but apparently certain someone can't do that either. I'm making too many inside jokes. This is supposed to be like a public speed run. What's wrong with me?
Speaking of laser cycles.
Laser cycles, yeah. Yeah, this one's a fun one. I'm pretty sure that there's like this one random block of gold that just has 2 pieces of gold in it. That really made me mad the first time I played this level. Because like you go through the whole thing like, wait, why didn't I get all the gold? And you're like, oh, there's just this single bounce block that has, oh yeah, by the way, this is basically a legacy level. I'm pretty sure. Either that or it's another ultimate level, but yeah, some levels may have accidentally been. It's like maybe 10 out of 4,000 levels have been accidentally reused, but other than that, it's all original content. Don't worry about it too much. It's usually more entertaining than infuriating when we find them, because they're so rare. Also, can we get a 40k in the chat?
I knew you were going to mention that inside joke.
I mean, I had to. I was mentioning every inside joke. I couldn't not mention this one. It involves a certain user who spent 40,000 attempts on this level trying to high score it, only to get it taken by a professional player like twice or 4 times, I think. It was pretty sad, but you know, they didn't feel too upset about it, so it's kind of a meme. We are on the last episode. Amazing. You are really killing this run. This one's so fun. I really like the layout of this one, because I don't know, it kind of reminds me of these professional FPS maps of a sort, but not really, because it's all still squares and corridors, but which is obviously not what a professional map is, but like you can sort of feel like the real game design elements really come out of this one. If only because each section is completely own thing, and it all comes together so well. This is the level where if you don't know how to perp jump, then just go back to the tutorial and learn it, because you need to know how to do a perp jump here if you want to do a certain challenge, or if you want to just get to the exit. See that? Nice, you barely missed it. Good job. Oh, that's a weird start. Then again, I don't think I've ever done this level without the goals.
Well, you definitely have, because it's one of the challenges.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Oh, but then I also have to get the mines, right? That's why I've never ran through it like that. That makes sense. There's a fun optional challenge at the top here, but as you can see, we're just gonna leave that off while she gets a switch. But interestingly enough, the rocket still activates, because there's just a small gap there. Mines don't block the line of sight or anything like that. Only walls do, and doors. And we get a nice symmetrical jump through that. Lovely. Yes, another cool thing. I don't know if the stream's resolution is high enough for this, but You can very barely see underneath the door. These two little white lines, that's actually a close switch that you need to access by intentionally skipping the door switch on the left. You can see that you can skip it, and then going back there and hitting the door, then going all the way back to the door switch, and then going to the door. It's fun, actually. Here's the last level. Too much is almost enough. It's considered the finishing part of this tab, even though there's an entire extra row that gets revealed when you finish it, which is kind of a troll, but hey, more content. This sequencing section is awesome. I love this part. You go up, and then you go down, you go up again. Come on, move. And you hit that, and we time.
Done. Oh wow.
Yep.
That actually turned out a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah, you were doing pretty good this run.
It's a 3706 on my splits. Thought it was going to be more like a 39, but... Alright.
I hope my commentary didn't suck too much. I know it cannot possibly compare to the AGDQ commentator. If you haven't seen that run, please watch it. That commentator is so good, actually. You need to see that one. He was just so good. Thank you so much, Emmoji, for the great run. Thank you to Midwest Speed Fest for having us, and yeah.
Thanks for having me.